slide over, see what's going on, just to, you know, uh, I was gonna try to clarify some things, but then I got thinking about it, and I was like, hold on, man, hold up. I'm not coming back over there to try to figure out and clarify anything when I know y'all gonna sleaze y'all way out of giving me my deposit back anyways. Bienvenidos, a lifestyle of smiles, the exhilarating YouTube journey of a daring American father who's made the leap to start anew in the Dominican Republic. Dive into a world where cultures collide as he explores the rhythm of island life, learns the language, aprendiendo español, and embraces the thrilling dating scene. From the lively calles of Santo Domingo to the tranquil playas, every episode is an adventure. Join Dia for fiestas, sabrosa, comida. What's going on? So yeah, man. This Airbnb is pretty cool, pretty tight. It's actually it's located in Pantini, but I'm not really actually doing a whole Airbnb review on this because it's just me and my children here with their friends, stuff, letting them play. And Monday, the lights will be getting turned on, and I ain't want to sit out there and be, overly hot. Ain't got no fans running. Y'all know how it go, especially when you live somewhere that's constantly in the 90s and 100 degrees Fahrenheit. So it gets pretty hot. But one thing I do like um, about my new place is that it doesn't get direct sunlight, so it's actually cooler in there than it is in my first apartment. And another thing is it has real high ceilings. You know what I'm saying? So that's another way to stay cool is make sure you get you an apartment that has real high ceilings. But this Airbnb is pretty cool. It's got a whole lot of space. Like I said, if you just come in here for a couple of days, it's cool. If you are coming in here for 30 days, they have this long-term rental stay as well. You have security. You got a garage where you park in, two parking spots. You have security at the front desk. If you do get Uber Eats or Pedidos dropped off, they will not allow them in the building, but they can leave it with the security guy at the front desk, and they'll take it and have it sitting up there waiting on you. They should call. They should call your actual apartment. There's a phone on the wall, and that's just like the intercom phone, and you can speak to them directly, let people in and stuff like that. But that's pretty much what they do. They won't allow them in the building just because of security purposes and all of that. And they have security cameras on all the elevators, on all the floors, outside of everyone's door. So the security personnel is watching everything. There's not a time that you're going to be walking around here and no one has eyes on you or sees you or knows what's going on. So you can rest assured here a lot easy to feel like, hey, comfortable. The kids can play and do whatever, and not have to worry about, oh, am I in a safe place? Can I, walk down the street to the Kamado and stuff? You can do that. There's just nothing but towels in this area. So I will say this: um, if you are a group of bachelors or bachelorettes, this is a good Airbnb. But I'm gonna be honest with you, you're not going to run into other people like that. Um, you Everybody who's coming in and out of this apartment complex, well, this tower, they all have vehicles. So you're not going to be running into people on the street and hey, buying this and that. You might see people coming through the lobby or something like that, but they're going straight to their apartment and doing what they do. You know what I'm saying? But outside of that, it says a good spot. I would come here personally. I would come here with some bachelors, but I would know like we necessarily wouldn't be in the apartment. I'm gonna just put it like that, just because you're not going to meet anybody in this area. It's an upper class, very well off area, and the richer folks don't really be hanging out in the streets like that. That's really more of a average person type thing to be walking up and down the streets, going to stores, this and that. The rich folks don't really do that. A lot of them be having all of their stuff delivered to their house. Like they ain't gotta leave. You know what I'm saying? You can literally have cigarettes, tobacco, alcohol, anything you need pharmacy included, your doctor and everybody can just come to your home. This is what type of neighborhood this is with the rich people in the Dominican Republic. You don't even really have to ever see them type of ordeal. So if you are trying to come, and you trying to meet some people, and you want to meet people that is around where you're staying, I do not suggest this Airbnb, and I do not suggest the Pantini area, just because the more well-off people, they're not really just out hanging out in the street. You know what I'm saying? That's just how it goes here. I know in the States, you have everybody's everywhere, at all times, but here, what is majorly different from being here than being in the States is that here the wealthy is actually wealthy. In the States, you have a lot of people running around, oh, I got money, they got on designer clothes and this and that. It's the same way here, but the difference is that they're rich people here, you're not running into them. And in America, you running into fake rich 24/7, playing rich. Here, there ain't no playing rich. Either you got it or you don't, and you're not running into these people. That's just, they got too much money to run into them. I mean, what, see them at a restaurant, but how you gonna know they rich and where they live at? Especially if they live in this building, you're not running into nobody. You might see them in passing. That's a maybe. You know what I'm saying? That's a big maybe. But if you're looking to try to meet some people and get out and actually socialize, I'm going to suggest the Los Casicagos area. It is a wealthier area, but it has a lot of average people living there that's keeping up with the Joneses. So it's a lot of people that live in, real expensive apartments and towers and lofts and houses and stuff. But you see them still getting on the bus, getting on the taxis, the moto conch, day in and day out. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of them may or may not even have cars. Especially when we talk about living in these certain types of areas. You got to realize it's just like in the States where you have some people just living above their means, and they, say, well, hey, I'm gonna get this real big, crazy, expensive apartment, and then I don't have a vehicle, don't have no real transportation, so I'm steadily walking back and forth throughout the neighborhood and stuff. In Los Casagagos, you're gonna see that a lot, and you're gonna run into a lot of people that way. But honestly speaking, if they on the well-off in this country, on the wealthier side, they're not walking. They're not walking anywhere. You won't not see them out on the street walking. That's just straight up. They're not doing it because, just like in the States, the risk of robberies and different things like that is a real thing. People get robbed here by guys on moto cons. You pull up, snatch your phone, drive right on off, snatch your necklace, your watch, and everything. And just drive on off and not even get caught. Same thing in the States, same thing here. So you got to keep that in mind. If you are trying to come here and you want to make connections with, a certain caliber of people here, you got to know the places to go meet them. You got to know where they're hanging out at, because they're not just walking around in the streets. You're not going to find them in the streets. And if you're just looking to go and hang out, and let's say you're a group of fellas or a group of women, you want to go meet some women, meet some men, whatever you into, it is what it is. But you're going to want to be in Norte. You're going to want to be around the Colonial Zone, the Zona Colonial. You want to be in Cascoy. You're going to want to be towards the Herrera area. Now, I will say this. When you are in the average areas and stuff like that, you do have to be more mindful of security. You got to be mindful of your security wherever you are here. But you really need to be more mindful in those different areas, because it is a lack of police presence is the reason why, certain things pop off. Just like in the States, there isn't, enough, how can I say it? Excuse me. There isn't enough, opportunity for everyone. So, being in these certain areas and you don't know the culture, you don't know the language, and you're sticking out like a sore thumb, you can become a hot target. And I've said this in many videos, learn the culture, learn the language, and learn how they move. You really want to, if anything, you really want to get cool with a lot of people that's going to be living in your area, so that way they can teach you and they can tell you like, hey, do this, don't do that. Go, you can go here. That's cool. Don't go there after this time because you're going to end up finding a lot of places and meeting a lot of people who's going to tell you stuff that people on YouTube don't really know about because they're not really out here and moving around in these different neighborhoods and stuff. You know what I mean? And that's one of the things that I do find very I'm gonna say I do find it very interesting about the YouTubers here, living her, and about when I did move her, and telling people my stories. Like, hey man, I went over here, I went over here, and they're like, what? I would have never went over there, man. I ain't never been over. I heard it goes down, and you like, man, but you doing consultations, and you don't know the language, you don't know the culture, and you've been here for years. It's complete madness and ridiculous, and they're really for lack of better words, they're leading people down the wrong path because they're not being upfront and they're not being upfront about everything that really goes on here because they really don't know what goes on here. They're stuck in their small little bubble around other English speakers. They're stuck in the higher off areas like Pantini, Bella Vista. They're not really out here with the average Dominican. You know what I'm saying? They not out here living like everybody else is actually living because a lot of them can't handle it, and a lot of people scared to live around average Dominicans. I mean, it is what it is. You got to be 100 about that, you know. But yeah, it's my favorite addition to this Airbnb right here. Favorite addition. Got the lights on the side. Now we done been up here doing some living. Kids got their friends over. We only here for a couple of days. Just until they get the lights on at the new apartment that we going to. Got two pools here. Nice little outside area. Nice. Yeah, favorite area. Relax, 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 ladies.
You scared the heck out of us.
My bad.
You caught the light and screamed.
Yeah, I like all this. Now, we only here for a couple of days, but this is the perfect place for a long-term rental. They do 30-day rentals and more. It has 2 beds, 3 baths, a patio, and this is the walk-in closet in the main room. And the other one has a walk-in closet as well. Let's go see it. Let's go see what's going on in here. Kids been in here playing. Yep, kids been in here playing. But yeah, this is where it's at. I'll be all the way honest with you on that. For a long-term rental for a family of 6, this is cool. If you want to come for a couple of days and come out and let your kids and their friends play and stuff, sort of what we doing, then this is where it's at. I do definitely recommend this. I do definitely recommend all of this. And they got real high ceilings. Fireplace. My favorite addition, the Picasso right here. What's going down? So let me explain something to y'all that's very, very important that I want everybody to, be well aware of. That is, how when you move into an apartment or move in anywhere, you put down deposits, either 2 months, 3 months, whatever the case may be. Well, here you're going to put down 3 months, two you should get back, and one you won't get back. But just like in the United States, they're going to do everything in their power that they can to make sure that they don't have to pay you that deposit money back. They're going to itemize and do anything, especially if the rental was furnished. So let me explain to you what's going on with me just a couple of minutes ago. So the landlord hit my phone. He's like, hey man, the overage charges on the electricity is 3,500 pesos. And I was like, oh, okay, well, shoot, what else is going on over there? He's like, oh, man, well, I got to paint. There's some water damage for where cups sit on the small table and all of that. And I was like, okay, cool, I'm going to slide over and see what's going on, just to, I was going to try to clarify some things. But then I got thinking about it. And I was like, hold on, man. Hold up. I'm not coming back over there to try to figure out and clarify anything when I know y'all gonna sleaze y'all way out of giving me my deposit back anyways. So you better take that money up out the deposit that y'all not gonna give me back in the first place. And I texted him, I was like, hold on, man. I gave y'all deposit money and all of that. That covers all of that. So what are you talking about? You think I'm about to come over there and pay you this excessive money for you to then still turn around and not pay me my deposit back? And that's exactly what they thought was going to happen. And when I explained that to them, they stopped texting me. Didn't have anything else to say. And the reason why is because that's the game that they play. That's the game that landlords and building owners play in the United States. I've been there, done that. That happened to me in my last home that I had rented out in the United States. I had so much goofy stuff on her that I was out of $4,000 that I put down for a deposit. And I ended up, for the deposit here, I had only put down $1,500. But like I told them, I was like, well, hell, y'all gonna keep the $1,500 anyways. So y'all might as well go on and dock up whatever it is that you want to run your mouth and say is wrong and messed up. Because the apartment that I moved in, somebody had already, the day that I moved into it, somebody had already moved out of it. Literally, the same day I moved in, somebody moved out. They didn't do no repainting. They didn't put no brand new furniture in there or nothing. Everything that he had explained to me, oh, well, the watermarks, yada, yada, they was already there when I moved in. From where the AC unit leaks on the wall and stuff, when they put the AC unit in there, they was going to have to repaint anyways. They own a whole building that is an Airbnb, and they gotta do painting and do this and do that all the time. So, nah, dude, that's one game that I'm not playing with nobody. And that's one thing that I do tell people. Especially when you across seas, man. Who you gonna go talk to? You don't know the language, you don't know the culture, you don't know the rules, the laws, and how stuff goes here. Who you gonna go talk to? Even in the States, we don't even go through the trouble to be like, man, I'm about to go to court and tell them, send me an itemized list of why it came up to this total, yada, yada, yada. We don't even do it in the States. You're gonna do it in another country. So if you do a deposit here, make sure you understand that 9 times out of 10, you're not gonna get it back. And that's just straight facts. You're not gonna get it back. So why even worry about going through the hassle of, oh, well, I'm about to leave the house leave my place looking a certain type of way, and I'm about to pay cleaners to come in and do deep cleans and do this and do that. Nah, man, pack your stuff up, your clothes, especially if it's furnished. Pack your stuff up, go on about your business. They're going to keep the deposit anyway, so it doesn't even matter how you leave it. You can leave it spotless and super clean. I got a partner that lived over in Pantini. His rent is like $1,300 a month. So he had to pay that times 3 to move in. When it came time for him to move out, and it was fully furnished. When it came time for him to move out, they kept all of his deposits. Had the landlord told him so much stuff that they made it seem like he still owed them money. Come on now. Like, let's be all the way real. This is the Dominican Republic. Ain't there, I don't care how you flip it. There's nothing in these apartments that's worth 1,300 times 3. You see what I'm saying? Ain't nothing. Yes, the furniture over here is mad expensive because of they laws on importing. They gonna weasel their way out of any way to make sure they don't have to pay you their refund back, that deposit back. That's just how it goes. It goes like that in the United States. Hell, almost everywhere I lived in the United States, tried to find a way to be like, oh no, this and that, and then you got to try to go find pictures from 2 years ago and this and that. Man, I don't have time for none of that. Like I sit there and told them, they better sit there and holler at that deposit that I gave. You know, do what you do, because I don't have nothing else to say to y'all. You know what I'm saying? Especially when y'all gonna keep it anyways. That's why they stopped texting me and was like, oh, well, he ain't going for it, because I've already been through this in the United States. Like, for instance, think about this. Have you ever noticed that YouTubers that are in the DR say stuff like, oh man, I be tipping my maintenance man, I tip my security guys and da 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 da. Do you know that Dominicans don't do that? What are you tipping them for? You think they your friend? You think they gonna look out for you? No, they not. They don't care about you. You a walking ATM. Who has to tip the security dude to do his job? Who has to tip the maintenance guy to do his job? Dominicans don't do that. Either he's gonna do his job right or he's not. Simple as that. And I literally be telling the guys that hit me up and they be like, man, I'm about to move or whatever. How much should I tip my security guy and stuff? I'm like, tip? I ain't never tipped my security dudes. Maintenance guys and stuff. For what? That's his job to do whatever it is he's there to do. You feel what I'm saying? So it's complete nonsense in doing so. I got some guys that I know live in Bella Vista. He been tipping his security guy for over a year because he's like, if anything happens or anything goes down, you know, he gonna have my back. Just because you give him some money don't mean he gonna have your back. And the reason why they do that is because they sitting out here and they dealing with pros, and they think that if they give the maintenance guy and the security guys a couple extra dollars, you know, they gonna be on the lookout for them. They not on the lookout for y'all. They are these pros' brothers, baby daddies, husbands, best friends, homies from the hood. They don't care about you. They don't care about her. Because as soon as that money stop coming in, you gonna find out real quick how cool y'all are. Y'all not cool. Like, for instance, the last place I just moved out of, the maintenance people and the landlord talk bad about the homeowner, joke on them, have all types of stuff to say about them in front of me, as if they know that I know him personally. Sit there and run their mouth about him whenever they want to, laugh and joke on da 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 da. All to give the impression that we cool. We not cool. Y'all not my friends. How can you sit here and run your mouth about your employer in front of his client, and you think I'm gonna think we cool? Man, we not friends. None of that. I don't get down like that at all. You know what I'm saying? That's one of the things I be telling the guys, like, dude, you know, I'm gonna just end this off and quit my little rant, just so y'all can understand, you know, when it comes when it comes to rent and everything, just know and understand that no tokens. There's no difference in the United States than it is here. They're gonna keep that refund, that deposit, or whatever they gotta pay back to you, and they're gonna keep it moving. But we hit you back. That's the idea.
Ooh la la! Ooh la wow! Everything was done. I hope they not mad because I broke.